Make sure it's on live here. I'm just kidding. I
On YouTube?
It looks like it is.
It says live.
All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Demetrio Soliz, and I am from Soliz Dance. And welcome to our podcast. Today we have a special guest from, what did I say, Houston? Mm-hmm. From Houston, Texas. We have My San Antonio Quince. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Alicia. I am from Houston, like you said, and I'm the...
Next.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn, and I'm the lead ambassador for My San Antonio here in San Antonio.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Okay, so I'm just gonna go right into it.
Yeah.
So how was y'all's day today?
Not too bad.
Too bad.
It was an uneventful drive from Houston.
You were coming from Houston?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And your drive?
How about you?
Nice. Mine was good. The past few days I was off. I got some rest. So My San Antonio Quince. So go ahead and so we've never met before.
Right.
This is our first time meeting.
Yes.
Where we knew of each other from was the was it competition? What is it called?
I'm trying to think
The
when I
award
first
ceremony?
probably
the award ceremony.
Yeah, you were nominated in the Elite 2024.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go, but I had to work.
Yeah.
So
next year.
Yes. Oh, they have one next year?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So go ahead and
to find the vendors that you need, and there's just not that many out there for Quince. So we are trying to pull together, a great list of all of the vendors that someone would need to plan a quinceanera. So that's a little bit of different than if you're planning a wedding. There's different kinds, like dance groups, there's
Yes.
things like that. So we try to pull that all together in one place and be a real resource for girls and their families.
let me see. So, a couple of questions that people ask is, so where do people start from the beginning? Like how to
Sure.
start planning a quinceañera?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask us, we get that question a lot. And there's really no right or wrong answer, but I will tell you, in our experience and having worked with different venues and vendors and things like that, if you have a venue that you are set on, do that first, because they book up. In a venue that you want, that's definitely where you should start. I would say even 18 months, 2 years out, start reaching out to vendors and find out how much lead time they need, so you know when you have to book them.
I would say start planning.
I was gonna say, like, the hall itself. What's the most you've ever seen?
The most I think I've seen, like an all-inclusive package, 30,000
Wow.
for about 300 people. But it really just depends on what you want. I mean, it can be what you want, want to make to, or you can go to the nines all out.
There's no set frame for what I think a quince should be. I think what really matters when you have a quince is you have the theme you love, you're having a great time, and you have family there with you and all the people that you love there. And I think that's what makes it.
And celebrating that special milestone in your life with the people that you.
Real quick, see it on your phone, like us, or is it just that?
I'm gonna check right now.
It's got like the little live indicator. Yeah.
It's showing us? Okay. Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that. So, for those of you guys watching, go ahead and feel free to chime in, ask any questions you would like to ask. Any questions that you may have, go ahead and feel free to type them in and we'll go over them. Okay. So, explain to us, what is a quinceañera?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I can do that. As a Latino girl that's grown up in San Antonio, I found that the meaning of a quinceañera varies, but what a quinceañera to me is that celebration of becoming a woman and growing into your full self as a young girl and making to older and understanding more in life. And then you bring your family together and you're able to celebrate that milestone.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like about traditions of a quinceañera. Okay, so go ahead and explain some of the traditions that go into a quinceañera.
Well, they're so to choose. I think one of the most interesting things to me is that a lot of the traditions and things, like, they can have different meanings for different people based on like their own family tradition. So there's like some general meaning, you know, like we talked about the last doll and like, you know, sort of meaning putting away your childhood and kind of stepping into womanhood. But it can mean, you know, that's sort of like the general meaning, but then it can have family, like I've seen where the quince will give it to like her different families honor those traditions and how those things are passed on to their other cousins or siblings. Or I've seen that with the, it's like they give, and also round where that one last week. Right, you know, her birthday's probably next year, and so she kind of gave that, and then her parents gave her like her.
Kind of like when they say with the bouquet of the wedding night,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
whoever catches is gonna get married next.
Right.
What is it? They got the what is it called? From Hawaii, I call it not botch. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, okay. So going with the last doll, and you said it was.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like putting away your childhood. Kind of same thing with the shoes. It's like if they do like usually your dad would change your shoe, right? And it's like from tennis shoes, like you'll see like the really pretty where they've like blinged out a pair of like Converse or something.
Growing into a woman,
yeah.
to getting your quote unquote first high heel.
High heels, yeah. So it's like putting away your childhood and stepping into womanhood.
So with the last doll, when is that usually given?
Like when in the ceremony,
Yeah.
it varies. I've seen it done all different kind of ways.
Really?
They usually do it in between. And I think when they start to give the toast, the parents, they bring the girl to the center of the room and they have her sit in her special chair in the middle of the dance floor, in my experience too. And then their parents start speaking about, you know, growing up and that they're so proud of you and everything that you've accomplished in becoming a woman. And then they start the ceremony and they explain the meaning as they give their gifts to you.
I got it. I wanted to. Are given to the quinceañera.
Oh, there's a wide range of that too, and I love that because that brings in that extra element of family, because it's usually like aunts and uncles and different people of meaning in the family that give different gifts for different reasons. Like you said, there was a meaning to like a ring and a necklace.
Yes.
That I believe symbolizes security, in that your family will always be there for you, so that you will always have your family close to you, especially with the necklace close to your. They give the pillow, the special
Oh, I
pillow.
haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There's so many variations, like so many different things that you can, choose to incorporate into your. So, I'm like, I don't know that particular. It seems like most quinces that I've been to start with dinner, and that's kind of gives everybody a chance to arrive, and people come and eat dinner or whatever, and then you have like you kind of have all these elements,
and then they do a slideshow.
Yeah, slide.
Cutest.
It's so cute, but
gifts that they give.
Do the quinces appreciate that though? Like their friends are there, and it's like showing crazy pictures from their toddlers.
Awkward moment. Right?
Yeah.
I've always thought it's so cute and adorable, but I know some people that didn't appreciate it, and they were very embarrassed.
You might need to ask them.
I think when you get older, you just don't care about that anymore, right? But they're young.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because like I do that for my kids for their graduation. I like start when they're babies, right? And I show it to all their friends and everything. But it's like a surprise. So I just feel like it's kind of the same way. And some of them, my next son, he's 15, and he's like, I need to see it first before. I don't want you showing these pictures to my friends. I feel like it's probably the same way. They're probably like, Mom, why did you put that picture in there?
I know. I've said that, I think, before to my mom.
Yeah. Okay, that just reminded me. With quinceañeras, can boys have them?
Yes. Quinceañeros.
And that is becoming much more of a trend.
Yes.
I have a friend, a photo booth owner, and so she's at them every weekend, right?
Yeah.
And so she only has boys, and so she's like, I don't know if they want it or not. They're having a quinceañera. And she's already planning it. She's like, plastic bag can't be too girly.
Yeah.
She's got like this whole plan. It's so I'm like, I need to invite. I want to come to that.
I would love to go to a
Yes.
quinceañera. I've never been to one.
Never have I.
But I always hear of them, and I'm like, I'm never invited.
Right.
I want to be there.
So I was close. I was close to getting hired to one, but the son, the guy. Okay, so his dad had one.
Okay.
At a quinceañera.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was like, no, he's not gonna have one because I'm the only one that has sweet 16. But I think right, sweet 16s and
it's
right?
basically.
Yeah.
I feel like with sweet 16s, there's not like as many traditions, and it's really just a birthday party.
It's more of a quinceañeras are more of a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yes.
And gathering a family to celebrate you and your milestone.
Right, for sure.
Can you have both?
If you can, then yeah, I would say go for it.
Yeah.
If you have the pocketbook
I know
for it. I know. Big birthday parties back to back.
Or I've known somebody at together.
Oh.
Side of the family and one for the dad's side of the family.
Wow.
Is that like logic?
I haven't heard of that too much. I have. Where there would be issues with that, whatever. But I have seen, because we do get a lot of questions. Family circumstances. What should I do in this case? Like, Dad wants to be a part of it, or like he wants to pay for this, but not this, and like, so how do we? For different family situations, so it definitely comes up. But having two, I have not heard of that. Actually just went to one.
Really?
Well, it was like it's basically almost the same thing, but it's like a combo. You're an adult now, plus you just graduated high school, so it's like a combo birthday party / grad party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes they do get the quinceañeras all
really?
out.
Do you want a water?
Yeah.
So the one that I just went to was amazing. One of our supporters in for my Houston quince, and she is a model, and she's a pageant queen and all those things, and she's also so one of the, I don't know if you're familiar with them, it's a dance group in Houston called AB Boys. She's an AB doll.
Okay.
And so she had a dance that the crew came in, and it was a Roaring 20s theme. Or 1920s, like for this is how much food we have, So trying to limit that is definitely tough, and you have to be real clear in your invitation about what you're. And then you, on the other hand, I don't know if this is thing in San Antonio. I haven't seen it as much here, but in Houston, the open invite quince.
Those are great. I had
like that, but yeah. So there, I mean, there's a shout out to Quince and HTX.
Lucky or Garcia Event Center.
You have to be careful because I don't know if not every event hall is okay with that.
See, I used to be a we live in church, right?
Yeah, hopping.
Yeah,
yes.
and because we would like, we didn't even know the person.
Right.
We just go. I think we got kicked out once.
Well, I mean,
and you're like, yeah.
Well,
I mean, if there's 300 people, there's no every single person there, so it's probably pretty easy to do, right?
So with me and my friends, we would and stuff like that, and go off more, but I don't know. And there, but y'all gotta go. Like, okay, let's go. And so yeah, that
sounds fun.
Up. And with the names, I think you were saying. Right? I think that's where you were applying. Yeah, we didn't even know. We just go out. We just go drive around or park. And if there was a girl, okay, let's go in. But if it was a wedding or something,
I think you're very safe to do that after 9. Usually by 9, dinner's over. And they're just having their party at that point. I think
because when we were younger, I don't think we knew how everything went.
Oh, sure.
Just when we went, and if everybody was there, if the music was playing, we'd stay.
Yeah.
If it wasn't playing,
too funny.
All right, and then another question: how formal or informal do you want for your quinceañera to be?
I think that's a good
It's a personal.
It's choice. A personal preference. They don't want their guests to wear the same. Yeah.
That's not for that one.
Yes.
My personal rule that my family and my grandmother put in the invitation was no jeans or shorts.
Yes. Because if you don't say it, people will show up in jeans for sure.
But you always want to have that one person.
Always. No matter what.
It's like having an all party and somebody shows up.
Yes. Did not get the memo.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So to me, that's something that I think all girls should do, when they're like 13, 14. Girl, and then she changes her mind all the time. So you gotta be careful about locking it in. But the theme who really like the Enchanted Forest theme, that's kind of really popular. And so there's
Is it? I can hear it echo.
Oh, is it mine?
I don't think so.
I think it was mine.
Mine.
I was gonna put it on here, but this thing is not. Cool. Okay.
Definitely a good thing to consider, because then when you're going to the hall and you're talking to them about the decorations that they offer and things like that, they may not offer the color that you want, or for the sashes or the things that they put on the tables or centerpieces and things like that. So stuff.
I think that the dress, everything goes according to plan, or things go the best, is when the girl picks out her dress first and then revolves the theme around her dress. Because then they have a theme and they start picking out things, and then they finally find their dress, but their dream dress doesn't match their
It's not the right
initial
color or
Yeah.
something. Oh, that's a good point.
See, learning too. I've been doing quinceañeras for like so long, but I never understood.
Well, and I agree too, because the dress has to be like designer where it's coming from with supply chain stuff. Now it can take time to get it, and then a lot of times, even if it's you're buying a particular dress, there might be an alteration that you want made to it, or things like that, and you gotta have fittings, make sure it fits, and it's ready to go. So that's definitely at the top of the list and one of the things to consider first.
How far in advance? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
How far in advance would you want to say pick your dress?
I think at least a year.
At least a year, because I used to work at Galdina's Quinceañera, my GMA family, but on the rack, and you have to get your size 8 months in advance.
Yeah, I heard that, right? 8 months in advance.
But people are like, oh, my daughter just turned 14, I'm planning. I'm like, okay. It's really, it can be done, but like you might not get your top choice venue. You might not get your definitely worth. If you know that that's something you want to do, the earlier the better, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
I know there's some people that say, oh, I really had like 6 months to plan it or something like that.
It can be done.
Yeah.
It can be done. It's just you have to
it's a little difficult.
You have to be flexible in what you want.
Especially because venues have bookings 2 years in advance.
Yes.
Really?
I went to an open house and they're like, hey, here's this year's prices and the next year's prices and the next year's prices.
Dang.
They had it all laid out. So, yes.
3 years ahead.
So they're like, depending on
my is already here.
yeah.
Right. Like crazy.
The closer you get to the year that you want it, then it's gonna become increasingly more expensive. Typically start planning 3 years in advance. They're saying then you can get this many thousands off of the venue and the day.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Chat. Let's go. Does the venue ask that you provide your own food, or is the food included in their package?
That's a big.
I think
it varies. It varies.
It varies by venue. There are and it varies, in my opinion, too, like what people prefer, because there are a lot of people who are like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to show up. I want to go to a venue who offers everything. I don't want to have to do anything else. I just want to show up. Cousin to DJ, I want, I have this friend that does this, and they want to be able to, so-and-so's food and all those kinds of things. So that's another reason why it's really important to get your venue as soon as possible, because then you know what else you have to shop for. Because
every research.
Yes,
definitely.
and do your research. And like, one of the like biggest horror stories that I see is people will go to a venue and it's all inclusive, so it includes food, and they never get to taste the food. And then they come and it's a day of their quince and they're horribly disappointed because the food is not what they expected it to be. Open house or go to whatever, so you get to try the food and make sure you're going to be happy with it.
Go to tastings.
Yes, absolutely. And if they don't get a different, like, seriously, if they won't.
They have guidelines sometimes where no, unfortunately, you can't have your own catering because we have a specific catering vendor that we work with, and they are our number one.
So whatever it is that you want, you might have one that allows you. So alcohol is another thing. If the venue, like Texas liquor license, they cannot allow you to bring in your own alcohol.
Right.
So if that's something that's important to you, you want to purchase your own alcohol and bring it in, then you have to find a venue that allows that, because not all of them do that. If they already have their liquor, because their kitchen. Yeah, so they're just being difficult. No, because if somebody gets sick, they could lose their
sometimes please just be patient with the people that you're talking to when they work at the venue.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not up to them. It's just the guidelines that they have set in place.
Well, and I think, like, especially with the alcohol part, like, that's, like, to me, one of the things that is scary, especially in, like, this Sue happy society that we kind of live in.
You said that.
Seriously, though, because you just invited, somebody you hardly know, and you're like high on the list, but it could happen. So that, that's definitely something we recommend, is either make sure that your venue has a license, or you hire a bartender or something, just because you don't want to be walking around making sure everybody's kids aren't drinking, or it's just always good to be safe.
And always start looking for party buses and limos ahead of time. Time for even more need.
One, maybe 2 quinces in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So once they're booked and your date's gone, There's only so many Friday and Saturdays every year. So
quinces start at a specific time. So there's only so many hours that you can have.
That's the other thing too. I've seen a lot of people complain about with venues is, like, not all venues will allow you to be there till 1 a.m. And a lot of them want to go till 1 a.m. If that's something that's important to you, you gotta make sure you ask your venue
and then
if they'll allow it.
Sometimes they want you to pack it up on the night of.
The backyard, mama. Sorry. The backyard.
You're like, this is too complicated.
Right? No, but y'all are right. Definitely right.
Well, if you got the budget for it and you don't want to do any of that stuff, we have a service on our site. They'll come and do all that for you. They'll clean everything up. They'll set everything up. They'll take it all down. They'll do all that. Yes.
Or a car. Right? That's it, right? And what are 5 facts about quinceañeras?
1, you're gonna be stressed.
Yeah.
No matter how planned out it is.
Just have a bottle of tequila every time. Right?
For your madre.
Yeah.
Unexpected. That's always gonna happen no matter what it is, even if everything goes according to plan. Speaking from experience, I have a cousin and everything was going according to plan. And a slippery spot, everyone was slipping, and my cousin dislocated her knee during the surprise dance.
Wow.
That's terrible.
So we had to that.
But,
take care of that immediately. Always have.
Most of the time, your guests aren't going to know if something went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It might have went wrong in how you pictured it, but your guests aren't going to know that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so there's no such thing as everything coming out perfect, right? You just gotta,
and that goes for anything.
You just gotta go with
it.
Just go, what's next, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go with the flow.
Yes.
Okay, we got 3 more.
3 more. Let's see.
Some traditions never change.
Yes, I think the doll has always stayed. Like, it's the number one. Even if you don't have anything else, girls always say, "I really want my doll."
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and I would say, in the same vein of traditions, is that there's no right or wrong answer. It's your day. It's your memory. So we asked that question a lot of, like, what's the right order? What's the right? The right is what you want to make it.
Right.
Make sure you incorporate all those things that are important to you. But it's at the end of the day, it's your day. So make it, make your memories yours.
Right. Okay. Another one, or see.
Another one is there are people that you really hold close to your heart and that you want to bond with. Very special core memories that you're going to hold with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So make sure that
we didn't even touch on that.
Someone.
Because, like, some people have a court, some people don't.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just have their chambelane and that's it.
Yeah.
So. The boyfriend.
the dance crews do have chambelans for hire, and
we have one ambassador in Houston, and he is a chambellan for hire. Yeah. Yeah.
I think those are always fun though.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then you make a new friendship.
Well, because they're not nervous, because it's not, you know what I mean? Like, they're just there to make you spin you around and, you know, make you feel amazing.
Sometimes,
they're not nervous or whatever.
Sometimes, and even with our guys, sometimes I feel like the guys overshine the girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sometimes, right? Do you feel that way or no?
That's why they need their quinceanero, so that they get their day.
Right? Sometimes I feel like they do. It could be maybe they're not having enough practices, or we'll get to that here in a bit. Okay.
Have a practice time set in stone.
Yeah. I was gonna touch on about the having the core and then memorability or whatever. So I think sometimes when they practice, when they stand in the quinceañera, sometimes that brings them closer together because you meet them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes it brings them closer together.
For sure.
And then you're always going to go, because like even with the quinceañeras that I studied when I was younger, oh, remember this person's quinceañera? Remember your quinceañera art? And then you're going to be planning your daughter's quinceañera.
Yes.
You know, so it's always something to remember. Already?
I know it four.
What's one more?
Bring your dancing shoes. It's on here. So, okay, so we have with fun traditions, and that's only 5.
I think bring a change of shoes for when you're
Yes.
heels.
So this is one of our tips from one of our Houston ambassadivas, and she was like, basically make yourself a bag, a go bag.
Oh yes, yes.
And with like Band-Aids and Tylenol and bobby pins and safety pins and just
biofreeze.
I mean, all the things. We have a list in our playbook that tells you, okay, make your kit. So, you know, because you don't want, you spend all the time in preparation and you don't want to be there on that day and be like, I had a headache the whole time and I didn't enjoy it, you know, because nobody thought to bring Tylenol or whatever it is. So that's another tip.
So you have, where can we find this at?
Our playbook. So you can find it on our website, mysanantonioquince.com.
And it's got everything on what to get to. It's like
it's a downloadable planner, but it's just got, you know, it's got a timeline of when you should book your venue, when you should buy your dress, all those good things. It's got some at the, you know, once you, everybody who's involved in your day knows what time is the quince going to be picked up by the party bus. You know, so just everybody who's involved has the same plan and everybody knows what's supposed to happen. And so we have a list in there of things that we suggest you could have in your go bag or your little kit.
It's like when you go into labor, you get your bag.
Yes, yep, very similar.
Because
you don't want to have to like, send somebody to the store to get, you know, a safety pin because something's fallen off your dress or, you know, something like that. So,
ooh, and a sewing kit.
Sewing kit
is always a must have.
Somebody steps on it or something. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened at my friend's quince. Someone stepped on her train and it just ripped.
Oh no.
So someone sat there behind the scenes of her quince on the day of and was sewing her dress together.
Yes.
Even the loops, sometimes if they're not fully, I guess, durable and they're made of fabric, they'll rip.
Wow.
And so your corset comes undone.
Oh no.
I know
that's like nightmare.
I know there's so they have the little what is it? Little straps. And then sometimes when they pick up the arm,
the strap.
Oh no.
Yeah. I know that's happened before.
Especially if they have those little clip-on straps that are detachable.
Oh,
the little squares will come off.
So do you ever do, like when you're doing your practices, do you ever do a practice like in their dress?
No.
Really?
Should I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I would say you're like your final
two
practice.
practices in my dress.
Yes.
Really?
Because
at least like, I don't know if you, I just call it a hoop. I know
Petticoat. Yes.
There's another one that starts with a C. Crinoline. There's all different things you can call that thing. I just call it, it's my hoop.
But it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's especially important, especially for if you're a girl like me that wore a hoop and then a 16-layer.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wanted a
big
dress.
Puffy, yes. Yes.
So
I need to practice in that thing. It's way different doing it, especially for the guys.
I don't know
if they're lifting her up.
I don't want to
how
tell them
close
that.
they can get.
Yes.
To
I don't want to tell them that white is gonna be big or the dress is gonna slow you down.
Yes.
But I don't want to say practice in your dress and something happens. I'm responsible.
Then at least
leave that option for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let them decide.
To do that.
For sure. At least then, if you're gonna have the 16 layers, add that too, because you won't see that. So just have her wear that.
Brings the fluff.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll do it. Okay, so I don't want to forget. Okay. What to know about attending a quinceañera?
I would say read the invitation.
Mm-hmm. Know the dress code. Be prepared to dance.
Okay.
Don't be the person that's just sitting there. Just to sit.
She just finished her surprise dance, and like it's time to start. Yes,
It's just a lot of social anxiety.
Right.
It is.
I'd say invite people that
You know
definitely love to dance.
That's where I've seen the robot come in handy.
The robot,
because he gets everybody on the dance floor. That's the gold behind the robot. Is everybody's full from dinner and they're not really feeling it, but it's her day and she wants, you know what I mean? Like, and they just gets everybody excited and out there.
Yeah,
those are really fun, especially when you have the foam sticks that come out with the robot, and then the sparklers. Oh, the sparklers with the DJs always it up, and people of all ages love it.
Speaking of, that's the other thing. Make sure you've heard your DJ before.
Yes,
because there are some phenomenal, but they're not MCs.
Yes.
So if especially doing, because I mean, like, it's a big part of it. They're announcing all the presentation, they're announcing all that stuff. So make sure you've heard them before, and that you're happy with how like their presentation style. Because it's no right or wrong. Just does it work for you? Because that's the other thing we've heard. A lot of people are so disappointed. Like, oh, so it's just, again, it's no right or wrong. A phenomenal DJ, but not everybody's good at being an MC. So that's something important to you to make sure that you've heard them before. They should have videos, something that you can look at.
It's not just playing the music, right?
Exactly. It's like more than for a quince, for a wedding, for anything like that. It's
being able to work.
Get people on the dance floor, get people excited.
That also helps too. If you get MC your event, it does get people out there.
Absolutely.
So one thing I do want to know. To do that, and it works.
Yes.
So wherever music's playing, we'll wait, and then if nobody's there. So if you guys ever need
need a hype man,
to get your party started, we're for hire.
That's awesome.
Let me see. Okay, another one. I guess this is gonna go with, wearing the same color of dress, but this one it's gonna specifically say white. Because traditionally the dress is white.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Nowadays you got everybody picking different colors: red, green, purple, pink dress, whatever they want.
Black. Right? I've seen it. The last quince had a black like charro dress.
Some people even have two because they have family members that deeply want to carry that tradition of the white dress. So for the church, if you do have a church ceremony, depending on what church, it needs to be conservative, you have to wear white, and then you have your party dress, your reception dress.
Yep.
And not necessarily that you have to wear white at the church. Family
and tradition.
Was it purity?
Yep.
Purity.
Yeah.
Same like a wedding dress, kind of the same idea. Yeah.
Okay, so
and also I've heard traditionally that originally with quinceañeras, when you have one, you're not allowed to wear dark colors because the dark colors were for the señoras.
Oh, interesting.
So originally back then,
that seems to have gone out the window.
You were supposed to wear only pastels.
Yes.
But now, I really like
I did read that, yeah.
The color
pastel colors in spring, summer, and then
they have
the darker colors in the like jewel tones in the fall.
Velvet dresses for the colder seasons.
Yes.
You have your quinceañera in December. They have those charro dresses that are velvet and like.
This is some good information. I'm learning.
It's all about that.
Important part of a quinceañera.
Making sure you have. I think that's just on the day of, even if everything doesn't go as planned, remember that this day is about you ultimately, and you're here to have fun. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or what anyone else is doing, as long as you're happy with the memories that you're making in that moment and that you have the family that you want there and know that your family is proud of you. I think that is enough and the most important thing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think like if anything were to happen, you can always look back. For example, I don't know, somebody slips and falls. Like nowadays they're picking up the quinceañera, right? If she slips and falls, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh no, embarrassing and everything, but in the future you can always look back at it and be like,
that's the only bad part about today is if you've got a videographer, it's probably captured for all to see. But then you could be on that new show called My Crazy Quince. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
So I did hear about it. Yeah. I know Juju was on it.
Yeah. A couple of 3 of our Best Divas from Houston were on it too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's why I think it's important. Keeps it real.
Well, it just becomes part of your story, right? And you know, at the moment it might not feel like it, but later on it's definitely a memory. And
because I slipped during my main chamelan dance with my main chamelan.
Oh no!
Really?
I slipped on the floor in the same spot.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, you told us.
At least you didn't dislocate anything.
No, I was fine, but I definitely slipped and almost fell on the floor. But I kept going. You see my face
go on.
Yes.
Okay, so we have here styling, manicures, and photos taken in a formal evening gown. So
we did an interview with Sinclair Beauty here in San Antonio a few weeks ago, and that was one thing that she talked about. So another planning tip is she likes to do like a trial ahead of time. So that's another thing that you can look at like a year, 9 months out, because if you want to make sure that they do your makeup in a style that works for you and how you like it. So you want to do that first, and then you want to have not the same day as your quince, and then you have them again. So it's like somebody that you're going to be working with a lot throughout the process, if that's what you want. So that's another early person to sort of find if you're going to hire that out.
So planning a whole quinceañera, what would be the first thing you do?
The very first thing?
I think you said one thing was the dress. The
dress and the venue are top. In my opinion.
For me, it's the dress. Yeah. Number one. Because then you can look for the venue that matches the theme that you think of from the dress. Then you can allows, and especially with the tabletop decorations. I think something that's funny is your family members try and steal your decorations.
Yes.
I've always heard that. That's
it is like a thing, but like so that's like when you
make your own decorations.
When you make your own.
Don't let them do that.
Don't let them take that if your venue provides it.
Yeah.
So not all venues do that.
Oh yeah. You run it from the venue.
Sometimes if you have an event planner, they'll do them for you or whatever. So it just depends. You need to make sure your guests know if you own them or not.
So sometimes I think if you do know trinkets out on the table, like you like from your childhood and spread them out on the table, little flowers, fake flowers.
Well, that's a big question that we've been getting a lot lately is, if you are going to have like a party favor to give away, and it's like, there's the debate of some people want to walk away with something, and then they feel like, oh, they just throw them away when they leave. So it's that's something else to consider too.
Yeah, I think it's because my friend.
I mean, like a lot of the venues, like that's part of their package, especially the all-inclusive, like venues have different colors to choose from and themes to choose from, and you can, just sort of rent it from them and they decorate the hall for you. But some halls don't offer that.
Got it. Okay, let me see. Okay, what are 3 gifts that the quinceañera?
Jewelry is number one, and then the sentimental things. I know if it is you are having a more traditional one, there's always the Bible. They give you the special Bible that matches your theme, and so jewelry, the Bible, and then always the doll. Always the doll.
I've seen a lot of quinceañeras that haven't had the doll lately.
Really?
Yeah.
Or they switch it up for the baby.
No. A lot of them haven't seen that. And it seems to be more about the comes out. It's like a vanity
surprise gift.
I've seen some where they take the girl outside and there's a car waiting, so she got her quince and a car.
Yeah,
I don't even know those existed until after making it.
I'm not gonna ask you. No, they've always been the surprise gift is always, but it's not. Whenever they bring her out and then they do the crown and everything, then they do the surprise gift. That's they surprise gift.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
So the last couple. Ready to go,
Yeah.
So it really just like how you want your party to flow anymore. But I don't know, like
they'll even do the toast and everything right then and there. Yeah.
I think it's so much fun too when they don't tell the quinceañera she's having a surprise gift.
Yeah.
Like they know they're sometimes they. Sometimes.
You can tell because it's kind of like, oh, great, but like when you really get the big animated reaction,
you see the confused.
Yeah, they're like,
what's the biggest gift you ever seen?
A car. Yeah.
Okay, car.
Yeah. The big bouquets with I don't know how much money are in those things.
Yeah.
Like they're like
those are beautiful.
They are so cool, but I'm like, are those $5 bills? Are those $1 bills?
Sometimes they're $20 bills.
Really?
Yeah. All right. So, what makes the quinceañera unique?
I think her herself and like
herself.
What she chooses. Like having been to several now, like they're all different. Like it's the same basic event, but it's really cool to like see their personality shine through and like what theme they choose and things like that. So,
yeah, always makes for a unique quince because sometimes you will go to one and it's not the same experience as the people that you were at with the previous one.
Sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, what is the main girl's?
Main girl, like
damas.
Damas.
Okay, that's what I was like. Isn't it quinceañera?
But there's not like because you have
the in the court. So just like how the main guys in the court are called chambelanes, the main girls are called damas.
Right, but like, is there one for like when you're planning a wedding, you have like the maid of honor and the best man, but then you have the other people in their party. Is there a word like that for like your main person?
I don't
know.
No. It's just that
they're all equal because
they're all equal.
The quinceañera is supposed to be the main number one.
See, that's why I got confused with the question. Is like, what is the main girl called in the quinceañera?
The quinceañera. Well, because I they literally said the main chambelane, and he like came out by himself.
Okay.
Yeah, because your escort is your main chambelán.
Sure.
But I wouldn't say there's no main
Yeah, and it goes into the chambelán is right here.
And then that you're supposed to have 14 members of your court.
So
because
7
the
each.
quinceañera makes up the 15th.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
every couple
that's
represents a year of their life.
Mm-hmm.
cool. One that had a big court.
Mm-hmm. Mine, I just have my close friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, most of them. I've only been to one that had anywhere close to that.
Yeah, nowadays you have people dropping like flies.
Mm-hmm.
Start off
Buy the
with
right
traditional,
dress.
the
Yeah.
14, but then we'll only have like
End up with
4
3 at the
boys,
end.
4 girls. Working on it. You always expect everything to go perfect.
Yeah.
Expect the
sure.
unexpected.
Yes.
Yes.
You're not gonna see it the last. You have people dropping out 3 days before.
Wow.
The day
You know?
before. I actually, for mine too, I had someone drop out the day of. So
Wow.
What?
did not show up.
Oh my goodness.
They just
Man,
left.
dude,
That
no
was
car, no show,
terrible.
yeah?
No show.
Oh my god. I think that I would be mad.
Do you still talk to them?
Oh, yeah.
You can look back at it and laugh, right?
We look back at it
Yeah,
now.
I don't
yeah.
think it's a good excuse.
Yeah, they did.
Okay. Here we go. What is the dance called at a quinceañera? Yeah, these questions
Because they can have a waltz, right?
Mhm.
And then surprise
The
dance.
waltz is the one you do with your main chambelán.
Which, again, like, I don't know what quinceañeras I'm going to then because I've only seen a waltz at one.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them do like the father-daughter dance, and then she dances with her mom, and then she dances with all her uncles and her cousins.
All the main people in your
And that's
life
it.
you have to have a song for, or you don't have to, but usually what I've seen is you dance with your mother, you dance with your father. If you have brothers, you dance with your brothers. And then you have your main chambelán dance. If you do decide to have a court, then you can have a court dance as well.
Oh,
It's-
that's not just your surprise dance?
No,
No,
so
different?
You have the
it's
waltz.
different.
The
Yep.
waltz is the
Oh.
court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Main chambelán too, and then you have a separate court dance where it's just you and him dancing in the middle, and they dance around you, and then dance.
Sure.
See, hold on, let me see if the surprise dance is in here. Because it says, what is the dance called at a
Questions from.
my back pocket? No, Google. Yeah, it says the waltz.
The waltz. That's it.
It says the waltz.
Simple.
One of the most popular quinceañera dance tradition is the waltz, an elegant choreographed performed by the birthday girl and her court. The waltz routine and is so the surprise dance is
It's not even
probably
in
in
there. Is that a new thing?
I think it's been a more recent thing in recent decades that you do a surprise dance.
Yes.
So the waltz
That makes
quote,
sense.
have to make it your quinceañera.
I think that's one thing that everybody's like going for. I want to see the surprise dance. I want to see the surprise dance, and that's always been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I started my first quinceañera when I was 13. We just did the waltz, and then my other cousin had one. I think I was 14 at the time, and then we had a surprise dance, and well, it was just one song, and my and that's to dance.
Well, that's cool.
And yeah, so my sister inspired me because she would always put routines together. So
The most interesting surprise dance I've ever seen was a Bollywood dance.
oh really?
Because her mom and dad were different ethnicities, so they were honoring that side of her family's tradition, and I thought that was a really cool way to like bring it
like
together.
that.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's what's up.
I think if
I
you
like
want
to
to
do
do that, don't be afraid to do
Right?
Right,
That's
so
how you
yeah,
make
so-
it yours, right?
So that's another question that I see on. So are you guys on the Facebook? It's
There's
a
some-
Facebook page.
there-
One side that's the Latin or Hispanic,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you have another one that's a different. how can I say,
culture or
Yes.
ethnicity.
So people always ask, can they still have a quinceañera? Yes.
I've heard a lot of that coming too.
So.
Yeah, because there's a lot more, and it's so funny too because the ones that I'm seeing, it's like, you know, my mom's side of the family is like African American or something, and they're like, my mom doesn't want me to have a quinceañera, but my dad does. It's like,
really?
It's not even as, yeah.
I think it should ultimately be up to the girl.
Yes, for sure.
And if her parent is okay with it.
Right.
Have at least one that's rooting for
Right.
you.
I think so too. Like, even though I don't want to say something and it would be the wrong media canceled, right?
Right.
But no, but let's, like, if you're half Asian, half Hispanic, have one. You know, if you want one.
Right.
You know?
It's still part of your
It's still,
culture.
yeah. It's still, part doesn't cancel that out.
So there's
you know?
also a question that I've seen that they have no Latin culture.
Well, then it's just a sweet 16, right?
I would think so too, but they wanted a quinceañera.
Yeah, they want to call it a quinceañera. I think that's what he's asking.
Oh.
I've seen it on there.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I mean, like,
I haven't really seen that much.
I haven't seen that much.
Really?
No, I haven't seen that very much. Because, like, so, you know, my daughter comes with me. I go to a lot of open houses and expos and things like that. And she's definitely down for a sweet 16, which is going to look exactly like a quinceañera or whatever
I think all her friends were having quinceañeras, so she wanted one or something like that. Like, she was raised.
Oh,
I don't know,
in an environment.
Yes.
I mean, I guess if that's what you, I don't know. I guess I'm sort of a different mindset of, I just feel like it's not, what's the current word is appropriation, but I think it's really appreciation. You know, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So if they're trying to,
as long
you know,
as you're not making fun.
Yes.
Of the culture.
If it's really done to be appreciative and like experience to see people want to do that. Yeah.
I haven't personally seen anyone do that, but I think as long as you're appreciating the culture
and it's not mocking or something,
yes.
then that would be
then it's okay.
But
okay, let me see.
That would be an interesting trend, I think, but
especially
not one that I've seen.
Yeah. Like you grew up in that kind of environment. I have seen the situation where they're adopted by Hispanic parents.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So
and the parents want to do it. Yeah, that makes sense. See, there's all different scenarios. Yeah.
I think people really
we all deserve to celebrate ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, I think people look too much into these situations.
Yes.
And they don't understand that
they're like,
however you want to
well, people are looking too much for reasons to be mad or offended. It's like, really, does it really matter if this person, like, you know,
don't worry about what other people are going to say.
Yes.
If it's not doing any harm
then
to anyone, what makes
Yes.
you happy? I think you should do what makes you happy if it's not bringing any harm to anyone.
For sure.
Yeah, because I get a lot of clients. Can we do this? Can we do that? I'm like, do whatever you want.
Yes.
You know?
Same. We get those questions all the time.
I tell them yes. Okay. So this is a question that I have not seen anybody do this for any of my clients. What do the 15 roses mean in a quinceañera? I know it, but I've never seen anybody do it.
15
I've never seen anybody do it.
I've never done or never seen anyone do the 15 roses.
Let me see. Okay, I'm thinking of a different way. So other gifts may include a Bible, rosary, a cross. Oh, that's another thing. The cross medal. I've never seen that medallion.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Nobody does that anymore, right?
I feel like it's kind of old school, and it
is old school.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna want you to do it, but not everyone nowadays does that anymore. I think that's kind of a dying tradition.
And I feel like it's almost kind of, from what I've seen, like kind of 50-50 if people are doing like the church part or even a blessing.
Like the Bible and the rosary too.
Yeah.
I did get both.
Did you?
Oh, the candle. I know there's the candle too, I think.
Oh yeah. I've seen that too. I've seen it like in planning documents and stuff like that. I've not seen anybody actually do it. The most that I've seen at the ones that I've been to is the gifts. Like, I mean, like the jewelry and the surprise gift and the doll, the shoes.
Your sponsors present
the crown.
Your bracelet. Your Thea is presenting your necklace.
Yes.
I don't know if it's gonna be on here too. Isn't there like who's gonna get the doll? Who's gonna get the dress? There's something like that, right?
It's
You can
usually
have sponsors for those things, right?
Yeah.
family members who sponsor it, people that are close to you. I had my godmother sponsor the necklace of my gifts, and I know I had my tia sponsor some of my jewelry.
Nice. Well, see, for me, when I go, because I don't speak Spanish, so a lot of times I don't really know what's going on. Like, I mean, I see what's happening, but I don't know what they're saying, so I don't know like who the people are to them that are giving the gifts, because it's, you know, a couple that I've been to is like it's just couples that come up. So I assume they're family members or like aunts and uncles or godparents or something like that.
Sometimes it's just people
Close
that
friends of the family
hold importance to them.
Sure.
Friend they've grown up with their family. So that is also what happened to me. I just had someone who's close to me become a sponsor, or the quinceañera will get approached and they're saying, I will sponsor this for
I
you.
want to do this for
I
you.
want to do this for you.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I think that's also very special too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
adds a lot more meaning to the day.
It's heartfelt.
Yeah.
It's genuine.
Definitely.
Let me see, because I think I've seen something like that. Like, I think I'm gonna have to really look into this.
Well, like some of them, you can see them. They seem like you can see it's like a.
Kind of like
You know.
whenever they're.
It really just depends, but usually it is the parents or the dad, and the dad mainly does the shoes. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. And then I just found out that when it comes to her dancing with her parents, the dad always has to be first, because the dad always has the honor of the first dance as a woman.
Really? I've only ever seen.
Usually, the dad is always
It's the dad, then the mom, and then it's like a smattering of other
because you know that's
relatives.
But there's a meeting. I didn't know it was a meeting. Like people would ask me who goes first, and mom and dad. I go, what do you want?
Well, then I don't know if this is like a long held tradition or something that's new, but I've seen a lot lately where they're pass away and they'll dance like with a picture.
That's right.
Yeah. And then some of them songs they play is super emotional. I'm like, I'm dropping tears.
I know. I cried during one too.
Yeah.
With the parents, it's just I build that bond with them, and then just watching, you know, everybody just starts crying.
Yes.
Within those 8 weeks?
Right.
Oh, no. I want to say.
Is that how long you practice for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then 2 weeks before the first practice.
Okay.
So I meet with them, and then we go over the songs. I tell them what can happen, what may happen, people dropping out. I always go over those things with them.
Okay, well that's good to know, because I never know when to tell people that ask me, okay, well I want to, you know, have a dance crew. When do I need to book them? So
Okay, so I don't know. I always say it depends on how popular they are. I guess I don't know.
How fast they get. Like, yeah. Hire you to.
Preparation.
Next year, and I'm like, not yet.
Not yet?
No, then people tell me, hey, if you ever have anybody looking for a DJ, you know, Kim and myself,
There are planners in the world, and there are people who don't plan. Because we get those questions all the time.
Spontaneous.
I get questions all. You know, the biggest thing, last minute thing that I get, that's asking me for recommendations. My daughter's quince is on Saturday, and I don't have my dress yet. And I'm like, oh,
that stressed me out when I would work
out
at the quinceañera shop. It would stress me out because they come in and I'm like, hi, welcome, and then they're saying, oh, I'm here and looking for my daughter's dress, and I was like, I have to ask them, oh, like when's the day? When's the special day? And they say, oh, this Friday, and it's Wednesday.
Hey, it's for her dress to wear to the event. I'm like,
oh, the mom.
It's like mom has left herself left.
Do at a quinceañera.
I don't know.
I would say, and I feel like this goes for both ways. Put it in the invite what you expect, and then respect that if you're a guest. I've seen a lot of little kids like ruin stuff
Some people say no,
and they
no
don't.
babies.
Yes, some people. Well, it's great if you're okay with that and you want kids there, then great. But if you're, you know what I mean. And so if somebody says that they don't want kids, or get a babysitter and don't bring your kids. You know what I mean? Like it's their day, so don't wear jeans or wear. You know, like what they say in
have
there.
Some layout rules
Yes.
on the RSVP.
Or if you are going to bring your kids, you know, make sure that they're not running across the in her surprise dance because the kid ran, you know.
Yeah, I did that in one of my videos.
Yes.
If you see the mom going to get
The mom's going
some decorum.
right.
Well, because little kids are unpredictable. You
They
can't always
are.
help what they're going to do, and they're excited, and they don't know that it's, you know, going to ruin the video or whatever. So that's one of the things that I've seen. People like, oh, my cousin ran through it, you know.
Sometimes it's cute. They see their dad, and then they go run up to the girl, and they want to dance with the girl while she's dancing with her dad.
I think that's happened to me once. One of the kids had been there since day one of practice, and he kind of knew the dance, and so he would go out there and no. I think he's at the end of one of my videos. Yeah, you see him jumping up and down.
And sometimes it's probably adorable, but like again, at the end of the day, it's the Quince's day. So if that's not what she wants, then you know. So I think you know, do your best to honor what she wants.
Right.
Yeah.
Honor her wishes.
Yes.
Yes. So we have here or without an RSVP.
Well, especially if you're expecting dinner. If you're expecting dinner, you should RSVP for sure. Because that's the main cost, honestly. Outside the venue, the food is the main cost. So, you know, if you think about it like that, like, you know, or you could be taking somebody's food who did RSVP, and that's not fair either. So, you know, if you know you're going to be late, you're not going to eat, that's one thing. But
and then
don't show up late expecting food and you didn't RSVP.
Right.
And if they don't RSVP, or if a lot of people show up and don't of plates that you ordered, so
and that puts so much stress on the mom.
Yeah,
exactly. So they've had to
or
order
whoever's planning the party.
Little Caesars, pizza, just to make sure those guests.
Right. Yeah. So I think a lot of people don't take that into account.
I think one thing is I always ask what the color is. Don't wear the color. I think that's one thing. You know, if it's red.
I didn't think. I mean, because like, you know, I never thought about that till recently too. I saw somebody put it in their invitation, but it makes sense. It's the same thing. Like, you don't go to a wedding wearing white. So for her day, it's her day.
And sometimes they want you to wear a specific color. I know I have a quince, or there is a quinceañera I was invited to this Saturday where the invitation, they're asking us to only wear green.
Oh,
really?
Interesting.
Only wear
is that like
green.
her favorite color or something?
I guess
cute.
so.
Yeah.
She's like, she wants a little
So don't show
universal.
up in purple.
Yeah, don't show up in purple.
Don't.
Not the
Kick out that
Joker.
person. It's like, okay. What colors not to wear to a quinceañera? I guess you could.
Same thing. I don't think there's like any one color not to wear. I think it's just if they've made their wishes known, honor that.
Okay, so this one go with the suit or tie. Okay, let's get that one.
I think as long as you don't show up wearing a quinceañera dress to the quinceañera.
Right, that's true.
You're okay.
Oh, that happened. Where did that go viral?
Really?
Oh, so there's this guy on TikTok. He's always the quinceañera chisme.
I love watching those.
So he said a girl showed up in her quinceañera dress and it wasn't even her quinceañera.
What?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I know he talks a lot about the court drama, that you always have drama with your quinceañera.
I'm sure. Yeah. But to show up in a dress,
I think that's a bonding experience though. It's a universal
I'll
experience.
look for it and I'll send it to you. But that's
crazy.
Who would do that? Like, honestly.
Have a little sympathy for the girl. It is her
yeah. I don't know what I asked. How much money is?
So I just remembered something. I did throw this quinceañera giveaway way back when. I think when I was 16. After I had mine, I just felt like I wanted to gather all the vendors in San Antonio and do a free quinceañera giveaway, which I did end up doing to a girl that was financially impacted by the COVID pandemic. So on the day of the quinceañera giveaway, where I was there supporting her with her free quince, she had never had one before. I think she was a mixed girl too, so her family knew nothing about quinceañeras either.
Oh.
So on the day of, her sisters showed up wearing these dresses and quinceañera crowns.
Oh, wow.
And they were just doing everything to take away from her crown.
No.
Like, their crowns were bigger than
Wow.
hers, the one that she wanted.
Oh.
And I just think if you're showing up to a quince, don't wear a crown.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's another good tip. Yeah,
How long
there
ago
you
was
go.
this?
This was 3 years ago.
I think I remember. Was it on the radio?
I have no idea.
Okay, I think
Or my quinceañera. Actually, yeah, I think my quinceañera giveaway was on the radio. I had it promoted because I was looking for applicants to apply for your all-inclusive quinceañera giveaway when I was 16.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I remember listening to that.
That was a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, I bet.
It was on 104.5, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. So how much money is good for a quinceañera? So everybody wants to know the budget.
I mean, like I said, you can do anything, but for most venues, if you're looking at, I would say, I mean, most quinces aren't going to be less than 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking at 100 plus people and you're trying to feed them and everything else, plus, you know, hire a hall and all those kinds of things, a lot goes into it. You're probably, in this economy, you're probably not going to spend less than $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be, I think, kind of on the cheap side. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
with inflation, it's definitely gotten a lot more expensive.
It has gotten a lot more expensive, and it's really mostly have astronomically gone up.
Bill Millers.
And that's
Bill
Millers.
That has never failed
No.
at a quinceañera. Bill Millers is always a popular choice.
Were
I know
they
it's on
nominated?
the fancies.
Yeah,
They were nominated.
they were. I think they won.
They
They won.
They did
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's a very popular. It just never fails.
Shout out
It makes
Bill Millers.
everyone happy. Shout out Bill Millers.
Too funny.
That is funny. What else was there that I saw? That was
So there
funny?
must be a lot of venues in San Antonio that allow you to bring your own food.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think so.
There was something else on there that I saw funny. Wasn't it? I don't know. Okay. What is a quinceañera quick facts?
Quick facts.
Oh, it's just basically
Does it
what
say-
it means.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, like what the meaning
The
of
meaning of a quinceañera.
the meaning of.
Well, it's just a girl coming of age. I think we talked about that a little bit before, but yeah, literally a girl coming of age,
coming of
embracing
age,
her womanhood and
stepping into a brand new chapter of your life.
putting away childhood.
Mm-hmm. Growing up is the theme
Mm-hmm.
of a quinceañera, and I think that's the main thing that you focus on when you have your quinceañera. You know, especially with the special gifts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the jewelry, the doll, your pillow, your Bible, your candle, your rosary. It's just stepping into that new chapter of your life where you embrace the brand new person in the next few years.
I think we kind of went over this one. What is the most expensive part of the quinceañera?
Probably the venue.
The venue or the food?
The venue or the food?
Because like a lot of times the venue kind of has like, it really just depends because the venue will have like a flat rate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like so they'll say, oh, you can have up to 300 people for this price,
And then they'll
and then it's a per person price for your food.
upcharge you for
Oh,
any
yeah, I
vendors
think
you
I've
want to
seen
bring
that
in.
one.
Mm-hmm.
They have fees for if you want to bring in any vendors.
Yeah,
because-
sometimes they'll charge you extra for bringing your own vendors.
because they may not allow you to, but they do have a fee if you want to pay that fee to bring your own vendor.
Well, because I mean, and honestly, just to know the nuts and bolts behind it, a lot of that is liability issues, right? So when they do stuff in house, they have more control over it. They know the people that are running it,
And I think you
things
said
like
that
that.
earlier about the whole.
I had a venue that does not allow the robots. Their insurance
Really?
will not allow them to. Yeah, because they're walking on stilts. It's a tripping hazard. They could fall. They could get hurt.
Or a
So-
child can
Yeah,
run
and so
between.
they'll either and the one a lot of them that do. So that's another way to like make sure you have a reputable vendors is to make sure that your robot show should have insurance. They should have their own insurance.
The thing,
That covers them.
one of the quinceañeras that I did, I ended up having to leave early because I had to go to work because I work night shifts. I had to leave, but then my guys told me, hey, the robot fell on the kid.
Oh no!
So I was like, yikes.
God.
So
That's so scary.
remember that,
is
guys.
frightening.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Oh, who cuts the cake at a quinceañera?
I would say that's supposed to be the girl.
Do they cut? You know what? I think I've only seen a cake cut one time.
Usually it is. It's usually the quinceañera and the mom I've seen.
Is it the parents' mom has an idea?
So she cut the first slice,
I cut my first slice, but did I have a piece of cake? No.
and then luckily the venue offered, well, not the venue, but the caterer we had
Mhm.
included that. in
Like
the
cake
service.
cutting in the price. But is there like any kind of specific meaning to who, like,
No.
just the
It's
quince
just
cuts the first?
usually the quinceanera
Yeah.
cuts her cake, like her
That you
first
cut the
slice.
first.
Gotcha.
If you have a cake. So having a snack table is
Yeah.
very important, I think, because then after dinner, for the people that didn't show up to dinner or didn't RSVP for dinner, they still are like, well, we didn't eat before this. We need sustenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where the fruit table comes into play?
The fruit table. I actually went to a friend of mine's quinceañera last weekend, and she had the best snack table I've ever had. It was a ramen booth.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I know those.
The Takis and the
Yeah.
ramen on
I've
standby.
seen
It was
those.
really, really good.
Mhm.
I loved it. And then she had limon,
Mhm.
different things, chamoy.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different and unique services you can get anymore.
Mhm.
Like if you know, I'm sure you still have the cake, but there's I don't know if you have it here in
The
San Antonio. But
popcorn.
yeah, that.
Yeah.
But there's also crepes is a new thing.
Oh,
They make the cotton crepes.
Or
I
the
thought
for
those
you.
Elastigate every.
The cotton candy ones.
The
Yeah.
cotton
Those are
candy.
really nice.
There's one that's called it's here in San Antonio. It's called Cake Teeny, and they make so that every guest like they get to pick their cake and their topping and their frosting, and so instead of having one big cake that everybody gets the same, you make a Cake Teeny,
Oh.
and they make them in a martini glass, and
That's really
it's.
nice.
I was like, can you come to Houston? Like this is so cool.
We have to look into that.
Yes.
With that too, there's also for the adults at the quinceañera, they have the shot
Shot
booth
carts. Yeah.
Oh yes,
Carts.
yes,
Yes.
that roll around for the
I don't
adults.
like how you stop some kid. I know.
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the kids that I see, I'm like, oh my god.
And I know that they're not trying to pay $5 a shot for kids to be in there
See you, I was.
sneaking the.
Okay, so there's a table, right? So who sits at the main table?
The court and usually or always actually, I think it's always just the court at the main table, the quinceañera in the middle with Remain Chamalan. Mm-hmm.
I've seen them where she's sitting up there all by herself. I just feel like it looks so
Oh.
I
lonely.
know, that's why I'm like, let your friends
Yeah.
sit near you.
She can still have the throne chair, but she's sitting up there all by
Same
herself.
here. Also, have you ever heard immediate family too?
I've
Really?
never
That would be
heard-
a big table.
Yeah.
I've never heard of immediate family.
Well, think
setting.
about it. At a wedding, you don't have your family sit up there with your party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
That too. Sorry, I think when they order the party bus, you always invite your court, of course, but I've had it to where sometimes the quinceañera people that aren't in her court on the party bus, if they do have a small court and they want to have a little big party on the party bus before their quinceañera, they arrive. I think that's really up to the quinceañera if they want that.
Yeah.
But sometimes you will have family members saying, "Oh, can I go on the bus?"
Yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of where it gets a little difficult, I'd say.
So we say like just have the kids go in there, none of the parents.
Usually,
Gotta have a chaperone, right?
they'll have a chaperone, and I think my chaperone was my videographer and my
That makes
cousin.
sense. I think the party buses require a chaperone.
See, that's
They'll
what they
take a
do.
bunch of minors.
That's what they get me. That's what they get me. Like, can you go on the party bus? I'm like,
They think you'll be a cool chaperone.
I mean, no, I'm turning up with them and stuff like that. But I tell them, I go, don't ask me if they were drinking. You know, they take.
You're like, I didn't.
That's your job. But no, I always have fun with them. They're always a lot of fun. As an adult now, I'm like, oh my god, I'm not watching this. I'm not watching this.
The poll is always so funny.
It's funny.
When I've been in a quinceañera too, they actually
Did they?
the polls from the limos and the party buses.
Yeah.
They started removing him from some because it's dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
On a moving vehicle.
Oh,
I suppose.
I guess like if it stops. I'm gonna talk, you're putting your password at the same time. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go to the gifts, okay? Because that was actually next. So what does the ring? Let's go from head to toe. So the crown, what does it symbolize?
The crown.
I don't know.
Okay, because I know every single thing symbolizes something, and it's like, yeah, I just know the shoes. What I think the doll.
I think the crown is to make you feel like a princess.
Right?
Yeah.
I can tell you, the crown symbolizes like now a womanhood into adulthood.
Graduation.
Is there a certain
So
way?
it's, yeah.
Is there a certain way? So I always
I don't think there's a
like
certain
you
way.
go from the shoes up, or you just go from the crown.
I think there's, I think in my experience, what I've seen is the shoes first, and then
I have seen the shoes first a lot, and then the gifts.
the crown is like the final thing on top.
That's what I was thinking too. So
But I haven't seen the crown at every single one.
Yes, some people choose
Some
not to
people
have a
don't
crown.
do. Well, she wears the crown, but there's never like. I'm saying like
so they always start off with like either what is the little thing you get at Fiesta?
tiara.
A little headdress.
Yes, and then they put in the crown. So or they'll start off with a little crown and they'll put a big crown.
Big room,
on.
yeah.
I think I had one that for my church to match my white dress. It was made of crystals, and it was smaller than my big crown, which was. I think I ordered that crown from overseas. It was really big, 6 inches tall.
Oh wow!
And it was on my full head,
Mm-hmm.
and then that during the ceremony, that's when they changed it.
Gotcha.
So sometimes they do that.
Yeah.
I have seen that too.
Yeah.
So remember how I was telling you about who gets what? So this one is who gives the quinceañera the ring. I knew there was something like that. Like so this one says the parents or padrinos,
It
godparents.
doesn't say madrinas or padrinos because.
Or the tias and tias.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know that it has to be
not-
like a
yeah.
specific person.
Nowadays it's
usually-
whoever you want, right?
Nowadays it's whoever you
Well, I was
want.
gonna say
Or the
nowadays
parents
most
will
of this
buy
is
it-
whatever you want.
Yeah, or the parents will buy the gifts and then they'll just have somebody go
Give it to them. Yeah.
So it's the quinceañera bracelet ring, usually given by the parents, or it's even spelled wrong. Pradinos. P-R-A, yeah,
I
or the
think
godparents.
It's usually just immediate family.
Yeah.
Just the immediate family.
Immediate
back
family
then.
or godparents.
Now it's whoever you
Yeah.
want it to be.
Yeah.
So the ring is going to symbolize the infinite circle of love from them. Both
Security.
Yes. Both usually have the number 15 on some form. They don't have the one, right? The 15?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Did they?
Mhm.
But yeah, they'll have the 15. Some rings and bracelets are keepsakes that are headed down for generations. I've never seen anybody.
I would say every time I've seen them, they pull them out of a box.
Yeah.
With the bag that they,
And
with the store they bought it
special.
from. So yeah, so I haven't seen it where they like seem to be passed down.
I haven't seen those either.
Usually the crown does, or when they do have the crown ceremony, it does have its own special box. I think my sisters came in like a heart-shaped red box with a bow on top, and she got to unwrap it.
Cute.
And this one, who buys the crown for the quinceañera?
Usually,
Could be a sponsor.
it could be a collection
Yeah.
of sponsors too.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to chime in to that, but majority of the time it is the parents, your mom and your dad, but it's really anyone that also wants to contribute to that fund.
So yeah, everything on here online, the parents, godparents. Who gives the quinceañera her last doll?
Usually your dad, or if if it goes for it, then your grandfather will do it.
Probably like your closest male relative.
Yeah.
Like if dad's not around or dad's
male
deceased.
father,
Whoever,
the father figure.
Yeah.
Your father figure.
Yeah. Let me see. The two main elements of the quinceañera.
The two, well, there's...
Well, I mean, it's highlighted the mass and the fiesta.
Yeah.
And
Which is, like I said, I've seen a lot where a lot of people aren't doing. Just do like, they'll have a minister come to the hall and just do either like before dinner or like as part of the presentation, have like a blessing instead of like a full mass.
And the crown we already.
Just princess, and it's I mean, like at the end of the day, almost all of the traditions are about just coming into womanhood.
Right.
Yeah,
graduating to womanhood. That's
So
what it ultimately comes down to.
She is a princess in God's eyes. Not in our eyes, not in my eyes, only God's now. Let's pick on her, right? We're gonna pick on her. And then tiara represents the favor of God, and then we have. Who pays for the quinceañera's dress? The godparents.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
godparents.
I just something like that.
The godparents. Nowadays, it's sometimes the grandparents too.
Yeah.
The grandparents.
At the end of the day, it's whatever you want. Okay, this is this
well,
traditional.
And it's so hard too because especially now, people don't always live near their family or where they're able to to be there or do stuff like that. So now it's just and some people aren't close to their family, and it's whoever they're closest to and it's had an impact on their life.
Whoever you hold or consider family in your heart.
Yeah. I would have to say so too. Okay, the three dances, group dances is going to be the group waltz, father and daughter dance, and the group fun dance. That's what they're calling it, fun dance.
Fun dance is a surprise dance.
So there's no.
Well,
really
I wonder where did surprise dance come from? Because it's not who's it a surprise for.
Usually, it's for the people that go. They don't say that they don't tell the people they invited that there is a surprise dance. So they usually.
So it's a surprise for your guests.
It's
I'm
a
like
surprise
it's
for your
obviously not
guests.
a surprise for her.
I would, because everybody knows there's going to be a surprise
parents,
dance. Right? I would say they're just surprised that. Never danced before, not even on TikTok and stuff, and they
sometimes they're super talented.
Yes. Well, for me, as sort of like an outsider observing, obviously I didn't grow up in this culture, right? So I'm like, wait a minute, it's her birthday and she has to perform.
It's kind of a show off moment.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I can dance. Like,
right?
Look at my moves.
Yeah. So when I have my clients, I always have like I don't put them in pairs, like in couples. I just say they're your backup dancers. And then back in the day, so I moved to Hawaii in 2014. Before that, they didn't have the robots. They didn't have the cabezones. They didn't have all that. What they usually do, they hired us to go perform. And that was the only thing they would do.
So you would perform instead of the girl in her court performing?
I think she would still
do like the waltz?
I think so. Yeah, she still had her waltz.
Sure.
But you know how everything has the height, the robots and the cabezones. They I danced for her. So I was with another group before, and they were actually on TV, and they were called Cumbia Chicos. And it'd be like, oh, I want them to perform at my quinceañera. So what they did, they sat her down in her little chair, and then they would blindfold her. And then we'd come, everybody start yelling. She's like, what? And then she'd open it, and she'd
Maybe
Very
that's where
surprised.
surprise dance came from.
Probably, I don't know. I don't know.
I've seen it where sometimes they do that, and it's just the male dancers that are dancing
Yes.
for her, and I think that's such a funny thing to
It is
do.
Yeah.
funny.
So it was. It wasn't that kind of dancing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that kind of dancing. That's
I have seen some that were though,
That are like
and
that.
I'm like, I'm getting embarrassed here.
Yeah,
Like this girl
I
here's
start watching
dance
them
here.
watch
I
it.
know.
So in one of the videos that we have that it's on YouTube, somebody else posted it. When we're dancing, you see the dad coming, sit next to her like that, and then you see the Theo coming, sit next to her like that.
That's funny.
So yeah,
I think it's
I
a
have a lot of good memories.
It's a humorous thing to do,
Yeah.
but it's a funny moment to look back on. So I think ultimately, even if it is in and you don't know, it's like a fun memory to
Yes,
have.
for sure.
For real. Okay, so we're gonna go. There's a lot of questions. Okay, so let's go over the whole ceremony. A lot of people are asking, like, what's first? Who walks in? How do they walk in? Let's go over that.
I'm gonna have to defer to you
Let's go
because I've never
tradition.
been to the ceremony.
Let's go.
Like outside of the hall.
Yeah.
Let's
Like
go
what you do at
first.
church.
Traditions,
Mhm.
I don't know
right?
the traditional way, but again, in my experience, it's the quinceañera is introduced last.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's in pairs, but I think for mine, it was each member of the court individually walks in and they'll announce their name, Dama, or so and so, Dama number 1, and then everyone, yay, and then this person as, and then so on and so forth until you get your main chambellan, so and so, and then the moment you've all been waiting for, the one that you've come here to see. The DJs make it very dramatic, and I love that. And beautiful dress. So that's how I've always had it.
And then you have sit down, and then they do the whole gift exchange, the crown, shoes, Bible. Right?
I have never seen.
I've seen the scepter.
Yeah.
Sometimes though they don't start the gifts immediately. Like they'll wait until dinner is like over, and then the gifts are the transition to the open dance. So after they're done with the gifts,
So you're saying like it's split up? Like they'll do the presentation and then dinner?
like they'll do the presentation and then have the slideshow during dinner. Sometimes I stood in a double quince where it was 2 girls having their quince at the same time, and they had the slideshow during dinner. And then after dinner was done, they presented their gifts, and then that's when the party started.
Really?
After their gifts.
Oh wow.
I've never seen that split before.
It really just depends, like what
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How you
no,
want
for
your
sure.
day to
That's
go.
what I mean.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no right or wrong. It's however you feel like you want your party to flow, or like know your guests. Like I know some, I just go to some of them as a partnership with one of the venues that we have in Houston, and some of them seem like, okay, the invitation said it started at 6, and I get there at 6, and there's nobody there.
I'd say always be a little
on the late side. I've learned that because I'm
Running
sitting there
on a
twiddling my
different kind of
thumbs by
time.
myself till everybody else comes up.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why they're, because like people kind of trickle in until whenever the presentation starts, and then
I'm
so
gonna
that
be there for the food though.
I know.
I'm gonna eat.
Especially if you want me to be there till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna miss the food, right?
Wow. Can you guys believe it's already 8 o'clock?
Oh
wow.
Well, yeah, exactly. So we can go on and on. So
Yes.
let me see. Any questions that you guys see online, just out of the blue or anything that you guys want to just go ahead and?
Do you have to have a dance with your whole court? And I think to that the answer is no.
Yeah.
No.
I think that do you have to anything?
No.
The
You
answer
have to
is no.
anything.
You don't have to anything. No, just again, just however you want to do it. It's up to you. It's your party.
You don't have to have the church.
No.
You don't even have to have a big quinceañera dress. I've been to a quinceañera extravagant evening gown, and she still has your crown. I think the crown is just essential.
Yes, I think that one is. Yeah, I have to say yes. You have to have a crown.
Yes.
What else? We'll go over a little bit. 10 more minutes. What else? Okay,
Yeah.
so coming down my side, because I've been doing this for 15 years. Somebody out there, how I do choreography, I've been watching dance videos for so long.
Exactly.
Right? Pick and choose some different ones.
Start recording the little bits.
There you go. And because honestly, when I do my choreography, I tell my client, I'm always looking up. And you know what I mean? And I'm trying to go with it. And it's because I'm trying to remember, out of all the dances that I've watched, what can I get from there? So you can actually choreograph your own surprise dance, your own waltz, your own everything. You just gotta watch, but don't do the same one.
Sure.
You can,
right?
Because I mean, there's
but make it your own. Give it your own.
Yeah. So there was a quinceañera that we did in the past where she wanted to do an exact waltz. Okay, fine. You want to do it? Let's learn it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of rewinding. And there's I guess a K-pop song that's coming out.
Oh, okay.
K-pop is really popular in surprise dances now too.
Oh, no, it's not a quinceañera. Never mind. It's for the Filipinos. Never mind. They have music. How do I know it's the right one? It's up to you at the end of the day. My advice for you guys is don't go with what you're seeing. You see this, the songs. If pick something different. What else? And I always tell them the results are up to you. I'm just here to, I'm 10% of the work. You guys are the rest of it.
Sure.
Because they're the one that's putting in the work, putting in the practice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can go on for another hour, but so can we. So, any last final words? Advice.
If you need help planning your quinceañera, you can always find us for My San Antonio Quince, where we have a whole bunch of wonderful, awesome vendors.
Yes. And I would say come see us at Traders Village on October 6th. We're going to have their first Quince Expo, where you're going to see dresses, dance crews, all the vendors that you need to plan your event. So don't miss that on October 6th.
And never miss an opportunity to open house.
Yes.
For quinceañera.
Go see even if it says it's bridal, go anyway.
Because usually they share vendors.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of venues like to say that, oh, it's bridal or, oh, it's quince or whatever. Go to it anyways. You can still taste the food. You can still see the venue, all those things. And most of the vendors, they'll do both. Especially all that stuff that, so if you go to a bridal one, sure, you might not find a dance crew, you might not find a robot, things like that particular venue is advertising a bridal open house, go anyway.
Awesome. I've never been to an expo. I need to go.
You gotta come October 6th.
There's a big expo usually.
Yes, there's My 15 does one, and then there's the big one.
Quince Expo is usually at the Henry Beacon.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's one. Yeah.
Usually spring and fall. Yeah.
Okay.
But ours is gonna be better.
Just saying.
And then there's also October 19th to 20th in Houston, Texas. So you guys are in the Houston, Texas. Once again, October 19th to the 20th. Miss Texas. Go
Come
ahead
and compete for the title of Miss Texas Quince. Open to anybody in Texas who's already had their Quince up to 19.
It's going to be held in Houston,
really?
Texas.
Yes.
On October 19th.
So you can find us. We're Miss Texas XV on Instagram. And we're on TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. All the places except you.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I know I don't have a Twitter, so don't worry.
I don't do X
is
either.
it on here?
And then, same thing. Yeah, my San Antonio Quince on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
Nice. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. I had fun. It was a lot of. I don't even think we covered a lot.
No,
no,
like
it's
you said,
so
we talk
much.
all day.
Yeah. All right, guys. So thanks for joining us. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on our next. I don't think I have anybody scheduled. Oh, yes, we do. But I gotta.
See you next week.
We'll see you guys next week. All right.